And welcome to The Square on Air. With the mounting tensions and frustration over inexplicable aggression and hatred in this country, we want to invite you all into one of the most powerful, peaceful unifiers gifted to us as human beings, the power of music. Every Sunday, we bring you a new artist and their unique perspective expressed through song. My name is Amber Griffin, and as always, we are coming to you live from The Square in downtown Abbeville, South Carolina. This week's guest gets his inspiration from a diverse group of musicians, ranging from Prince to Chris Christopherson. His voice draws comparisons to true country singers like Jamie Johnson, Chris Stapleton, and Tyler Childers. Parker Ford has been a sought-after guitar player for many years, but only in the last 2 years has he begun to show us his vocal talents as well. Since then, he has been a hit at many area musical festivals, such as Central Spittuno Music Festival and Clinton's Rhythm on the Rails, where he shared the stage with Lee Roy Parnell. He's also opened for true country outlaw Billy Don Burns, as well as The Voice Top 10 finalist Ashlyn Craft. He regularly performs newly written songs as well as covers on his YouTube channel, Ford Official Music. Earlier this year, he was nominated at the Upstate Music Awards for the 864 Award, a category dedicated to honoring outstanding character, philanthropy, and compassion for our music scene. It is my honor to introduce, once again from the Southern Fried Morning Show, your host, Benji Greeson, and up-and-coming country singer-songwriter, Parker Ford.
Thank you, Amber, for that wonderful introduction there. And it is my pleasure tonight to introduce to the world one of my good friends, Mr. Parker Ford, man. Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Man, this is going to be a blast. I'm a fan of your music and have been for a little while now. We've kind of connected on the radio show, the Southern Fried Morning Show there, and Parker's been a guest quite a few times there with different songs that he's released, and man, you've just got a string, what I'm gonna call hits that you've been putting out over the past few years. It's a constant thing for you there, just song after song.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you want to call them, hits. You know, it kind of started as a thing of just like a novelty thing, you know, something you want to have out there. You know, I never really thought I could sing that well, and other people obviously have convinced me otherwise. So I was like, you know, if I'm going to do this, you might as well put something out for people to hear, so that later on in life, you know, I could, if I have kids or something, you know, hey, look what you did.
Look what Dad did. Yeah, that's really cool, man. You, as Amber mentioned in the intro, you're relatively new at this. I mean, you've been out playing, singing for a few years now, but what kind of gave you the push to try that talent out in front of everybody?
So the story I always tell is I was living in Charleston for a good while, almost a year, I guess, not a good while, but I had a buddy of mine that when we started this plumbing company down there in Charleston, he would kind of go back and forth and help us when we had big jobs. So he had a key to my house, and yeah, I've always kind of played guitar. I never really took it too serious, but one night I was in the house and was playing guitar, and I was actually singing a Joe Cocker song.
Okay.
And I can't tell you the name of the song right now, but he had the key to the house, so he walked in. He had heard me singing in the middle of it, and was like, "Dude, what are you doing? Why are you still a plumber?" So after that, it kind of put that thought in my head, at least, is maybe you can do this. And so I sent a video out to some friends and close family and things, and they loved it. And it was just kind of a slow push going into it, and then we finally did some open mic nights, and then progressed from there to just booking gigs here and there, maybe once a month. And then I met Cody, who is a professional at all things, and she helped me start booking gigs and getting paid.
Yeah. Well, you got to have that girlfriendager, is
right?
what I call it, to
Right.
kind of manage the operation and keep you on your ones and twos.
So she at least helped me make money doing this.
Right.
At first I was just playing for free. I didn't care. It was just being out there. But she helped me be able to kind of push into doing it full time, which is
it kind of turned from a party to a business, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. The business side of it, it's not the easy part, is it?
No, that's one of the reasons why it took me so long to kind of get into it after I did start singing, is because I hated it. I couldn't talk to bar owners. I'm not the nicest person.
You are a nice guy. Come on.
I mean, I'm nice, but it's like I guess I kind of give off this aura where I'm just not. But people kind of take offense to things I say, and I don't really mean it that way. That kind of thing. Cody is one of those that's real personable. And anytime she says something, people are just like, she's got to be a nice girl.
Oh, yeah. She's so sweet.
Yeah, so she's
sure,
good
let's
at
give
it.
him this
so
money.
I let her handle all that stuff, and I just go out and play music now.
It's been crazy because I kind of got in, I'm not going to say on the ground floor, but one of your first singles that you put out was Palmetto Trees. And that, you guys came to the radio station. Or you didn't release it at the radio station, but we played that on air. And I mean, the phone started lighting up. And was that really the first time that you kind of felt like, man, this is starting to really snowball?
And yeah, that was kind of a whole new world for me, because that was the first music that I put out to really, I guess, the world,
right?
Per se. Obviously YouTube's there so that people have access, but it's not the same feeling when you put something out there that's on 40-something different platforms,
right?
And when we gave it to you guys to play, which was the day before it actually released, to have my song playing on the radio was just insane to me. And that was only not even a year after I had started actually singing. So to have that happen at that time was a huge confidence boost. That kind of kept me going there for a little while. You said
that you always kind of played guitar, but it took you a while to kind of grow into being able to sing out. How did you? Everybody remembers their first kiss, and everybody remembers their first guitar, right?
Yeah.
Where'd you get your first guitar? How'd you learn to play?
I got my first guitar on Christmas Day when I was about 13, I think. And the only reason I got it is because growing up, my older sister, I have two sisters, an older and a younger. And I always tried to do whatever my older sister was doing, which was one of the reasons why I did gymnastics for a little while.
Okay. Can we see a backflip tonight?
No, that ain't going to happen. And so she had started playing guitar, and she was a couple of years older than me. She was about 16 at that time. And she started playing a little bit with a band at church and stuff, and I was like, well, I can do that.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to be better than her. So I asked for a guitar, but I wanted an electric. So my parents bought me an Epiphone Les Paul, and that was my first actual guitar, and I probably played it all of about 3 months, and then forgot all about it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't pick up guitar again until I was probably, seriously, until I was probably about 19, 20, something like that.
Right. You, I know this because of having spent some time with you before, but you grew up in the church. You grew up a PK, and I think you might be the third or fourth PK we've had here on the Square on Air stage. If y'all don't know what that is, it's a preacher's kid, right?
Yep. Yeah. My dad was a preacher all my life growing up, and then he he applied to become a state trooper a long time before he entered the ministry. And when he was about 40 years old, they called him back.
Wow.
Right? It was like 20 years later, and they was like, hey, we're running low on troopers. You want to come in?
Wow. We found this application from 1973, right. Wondering if you...
So he's like, sure, I'll try out. You know, he was, like I said, 40 years old, went to the academy, passed everything.
Yeah.
And now he's been a trooper for a little while now. But,
okay.
Yeah, I was a preacher kid.
But you grew up in church around music, and obviously a lot there.
My dad can sing. He can sing a little bit better than I can.
Y'all ever duo? You ever get the old family harmonies going there? Little Neville Brothers deal?
No, I never even thought about it. I don't think he could handle.
He's not the scene, huh?
No,
not the scene. Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, and if you have a question for Parker Ford, you can just leave it right here in the comments. We're watching in real time, just like you're watching. So if you'd like to say hello, or if you have a question for Parker, just drop it right here in the comments. Also, Parker's Venmo will be in the comments tonight as well. His Venmo account is @FordOfficialMusic LLC, and you'll see it scrolling on the screen tonight. It'll be in the comments as well. If you feel led to give $1 or $2 to the cause here, I'm sure he would greatly appreciate it, as this little thing called COVID has completely halted. I mean, your entire, this was your business. I mean, and it's been, you know.
That's been rough, to say the least. Yeah, I didn't do anything for 2 months, I guess, during this whole lockdown stuff. Obviously, all the bars were shut down.
Right.
You know, you can't go out and
festivals.
I mean,
everything.
Yeah, I mean, I lost so many good gigs that I was looking forward to. We were supposed to play at Redneck Riviera in Nashville for CMA Fest week.
Right.
And that was huge. I was like, you know, really excited about being able to play that, and it got canceled, which was actually coming up, I think, in about a week or two.
Wow.
And you know, things like that was tough, and it's really hard as a musician who's running pretty low on confidence in general. You know, having 2 months off is hard. You know, you start thinking like, hey man, you committed to doing this full time, but you haven't worked, and you know, it's been a couple weeks now. You're like, oh,
no, surely this is gonna be done here soon.
Yeah,
you know, and then
you're like,
later.
well, maybe this just ain't worth it. You're not that good. Like, you can just go back to plumbing and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
But so that was probably the hardest part of it, is just kind of keeping the mindset of like, maybe you can make it doing this. Once all this is over, just go back to everything being normal.
Well, look, it's good that plumbing is a fallback plan maybe for you, but the world needs to hear your music, man. You are an unbelievable singer, songwriter with an incredible voice there, and let's pick one. You want to hear? Let's hear a song. The very first song that you released as a single, right?
This is the very first song that I ever released. And in fact, it was a song that me and a friend of mine, Daniel Kennedy, wrote one night in his knife shop.
Okay.
And we were supposed to be in there making knives, and we decided that that night wasn't the best night for doing that. So I brought over a whole case of Bud Light, and you know, things, after about an hour or two, we gave up on the whole knife making thing.
Probably good not to.
Decided to write a song.
Yeah.
And
a little safer.
We wrote this song. And in fact, I actually couldn't stand the song at first. Wouldn't play it in bars, nothing like that. I played it one time for a couple close friends and things like that, and they seemed to like it, but I felt weird playing.
What didn't you like about it?
I can't put my finger on why I didn't like it. It felt a little cheesy to me,
okay.
The lyrics. But we made a demo CD, and we put some stuff out and gave them to people in different bars, and they all came back when we played that bar the next time. We're like, hey, can you play the Palmetto Tree song? I was like, all right,
yeah,
fine.
okay,
we start playing it. So that was the first song we ever released, and I'll play it for you real quick. out of here, I hear the train whistle blow. Sitting by this kitchen table, watching them pine trees grow. My money is getting lower, and I'm about to lose my head. Sometimes you gotta grow your own mist just so you get fed. I'm singing, oh, set me free. Where I'm from is where I'll be. Oh, set me free. God bless the land of palmetto tree. Well, I rode in here on a sweet southern breeze. Yeah, the year was about 95. This here land is where I feel free, and I lived here all my life. Well, mama, don't worry when I move on. That Carolina moon will guide me home, singing, oh, oh, set me free. Where I'm from is where I'll be. Oh, oh, set me free. God bless the land, the palmetto tree. We got hills and plains, we got fruits and grains, from the upstate to the coast. We stay on our knees, that's why you'll see we stay blessed by the Holy Ghost. I'm singing, oh, oh, set me free. Where I'm from is where I'll be. Oh, oh, set me free. God bless the land. Singing, oh, oh, set me free. Where I'm from is where I'll be. Oh, oh, set me free. God bless the land, the palmetto tree.
Woo! Get a little close up on my face right here, real quick. All right, so that last note he just hit right there, right? When you do that, it's called stank face. Good grief, stank face, man. Good man, you got a voice. It's incredible, man. And then, you didn't know that you had this? I mean, you were scared to share that at one time?
I never would have thought in a million years I'd be doing this at all.
That's incredible, man. That's incredible.
It took plenty of convincing.
Yeah.
Plenty.
So the palmetto trees drops, you get in place, and by the way, you can find your music everywhere.
Yeah,
right?
on all platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon.
Yeah. So when Palmetto Trees drops and it starts getting play after play after play after play after play, the radio station phones are ringing, wanting to hear it, and you know, that had to be like, maybe I'm on to something here, right?
Well, you would think, but I didn't really. I mean, obviously I paid some attention to it, you know, as far as like how many streams and stuff you were getting, but it's still every day. Cody has to convince me that I'm doing what I'm really supposed to be doing. You know, it takes a lot of convincing. You
got a humbleness about you, man. It's to keep that. That's not a bad thing. Again, Parker's Venmo is at Ford Official Music LLC. If you want to drop a dime in there, you can do that. And I want to say hello to Misty Munt watching in Kennesaw, Georgia. So we've got some people all over that are watching here. Abbeville, which we are downtown on the square here in Abbeville and beyond. One thing that it kind of blew me away one time, you and I were doing an interview. I get a call later, and the guy's like in Alabama, and he's like, man, we love Parker in Alabama. Have you ever even played in Alabama? I mean,
yeah, I've played one time in Alabama.
Well, you made a big impression there that day.
Man, it's kind of crazy being able to play in different areas of the U.S. And the thing that I've learned, unfortunately, is the South Carolina music scene has, I mean, it's slowed down. Not musicians. Musicians in South Carolina are pretty top notch. I mean, I haven't found too many that I don't really like.
Right.
And you know, you go to a state like Georgia, and the people there are all into everything. That they're hanging on every single word you're singing. And you know, South Carolina's different. And I think that's the thing that we're trying to change is, you know, if you're coming out to a bar that has live music, the least you can do is pay attention for half a second. That's all. Right. That's all we want. We want to grab your attention for just that one split second. Make you smile, make you laugh, make you cry. It doesn't matter. We want it for just that split second, and it's been hard to make that happen in South Carolina, but we're kind of working towards that.
You made people cry before?
I have actually.
Really?
A couple. I play a lot of sad music when I play live, and we were actually, the last time was in Columbia. We were playing at a brewery down there, and a lady came up. I was playing a song called Second Chance, which I'll play later.
Yeah.
She heard it and came up to me afterwards and was crying and said that it reminded her of her son, and she wanted me to sign a T-shirt for her and all, and put "Thank God for a Second Chance" or something. And,
oh, that's cool.
Stuff like that. But yeah, dude, I've made some people cry. I don't know if that's a good thing. But.
To me, that would be the most fulfilling feeling, is when something that stirred emotion in you then reaches to someone else and stirs that same emotion, right? Definitely.
Because as a songwriter, you kind of put a lot of stuff out there for other people, and it's hard to really pull all that stuff out and share it with other people.
Right.
So when somebody else kind of feels the same way that you have felt, it really does help. Even if they are crying, you know, it may not be the greatest situation to be involved in, but you know, that's kind of the way that I felt at the time. When you write a song, you never know what kind of emotions they're going through, and if we can help or make somebody laugh, cry, smile, it doesn't matter, as long as we can get to them at some point.
Tell us about this song, Second Chances.
Second Chance. So Cody, if you don't know Cody, I know you do, but for the people out there, Cody is the woman who runs 90% of this operation. By this operation, I mean me. And she books all the gigs. She tells me where I need to be, what time I need to wake up in the mornings, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And I had met her right when I actually think it was my first, what I thought was a big gig at the time. And I was playing somewhere in Easley. And
$25 in a tab, is that what?
I don't even think I was getting paid. I think I had a little bit of a tab, maybe, but I know I wasn't getting paid. And she came out to see me, and I met Cody at church a long time ago, years before. So I knew her. I just didn't know her that well. And she showed up and caught the last 3 or 4 songs of my set. And after that, we didn't stop talking. We've been together ever since. So we're a year and a half now, I think. And
you better know.
That's year and a half. Year and a half. And yeah, so she kind of was the inspiration behind Second Chance. I wrote that maybe a week or two after we met again at the bar that night, and it was meant for her. I never really wanted to put it out to anybody. It was just kind of something between me and her, and she wanted me to put it out because she thought it was a great song, and so that's what we did. I mean, it kind of explains itself when you hear it.
Yeah,
you'll know what I'm talking about and who I'm talking about. But
let's go. Let's hear it. Now this was just released. This is your latest single, right?
This I believe this was my latest. Or no, this was the
one right before.
Right before Habits and Hangovers was our latest single, but this one was right before that. It's called Second Chance. I better tune that before I do that.
Again, if you'd like to donate, Venmo at Ford Official Music LLC, and you can throw your tips right there for Parker Ford.
All right. Well, I've drank myself to sleep more than a few times, and I've seen the dark side of the ball, and I've walked myself home all alone. I've cried to a stranger and I didn't know what for, but you took me in, you didn't care where I've been, and you gave me a second chance again, and you helped me recall all the good times I lost, and you showed me how to love again. 'Cause one's probably plenty for anyone but me, and two should be more than enough. But I've had 3 or 4, and I've asked you for more. Yeah, you know the kind of man that I've been. But thank God for a second chance again. When I saw your blonde hair falling down on your shoulders as you spun all around the dance floor, I knew it was time to get myself back in line, 'cause you were something that was worth fighting for. If I could start over new, I'd break my back to find you, and I'd hold you till the day that I die. And if I found you back then, I wouldn't be who I've been. But thank God for a second chance again. 'Cause one's probably plenty for anyone but me, and two should be more than enough. I've had 3 or 4, and I've asked you for more. Yeah, you know the kind of man that I've been. Thank God for a second chance again. Oh, thank God for a second chance again.
Second chance.
There you go.
Parker Ford. We got some comments and the likes here on our live stream of just this tablet's about to melt here. Kelly Munt says they're mirroring this on the big screen at the house, so they're shooting it up in
That's awesome.
in real time there. And get another Chandler Crawford says, that's what I'm talking about, man. Sang it, sang it. He says. It's a good deal, man. Good deal. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight for another edition of The Square on Air. Got my man Parker Ford here. Spent a little time in Nashville, did you not?
A little bit, yeah. A very short time.
Yeah.
We played the George Jones Bar up there. That was the first time I actually ever played in Nashville. It was like 10 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had. Well, we were pretty.
You're out late the night before, is what you're saying.
We didn't get into Nashville until about 6 a.m. that morning,
wow.
I think. Because
Yeah.
we were playing in Columbia, and then we had to leave straight from Columbia to get to Nashville to start at 10 a.m. So we were probably still drunk from the night before, and we got in and just started right back over.
Yeah,
So
well, you know.
it was a good time, though. It was fun.
Right. Speaking of the George Jones Bar there in Nashville, we actually have a video clip of you doing a song there, Habits and Hangovers, right?
Yep.
Let's cut to that clip real quick.
I can't stay sober, but some pills I can't hide the truth. I spend all my time in a pitch black motel room. I'm just one step closer to what got me here in the first place. And I wake up in the morning with a habit and a hangover. If there's one thing that I can't stand, there's a lot of things that make you a good man. God, family, friends, can't seem to get all three. Having a hard time holding Medicaid in my mind. The stars ain't lining up, and I'm about to lose control. I can't stay sober, press some pills, can't hide the truth. I spend all my time in a pitch black motel room. I'm just one step closer to what got me here in the first place. And I wake up in the morning with a habit and a hangover.
It's Parker Ford at the George Jones Bar there in Nashville. Who was accompanying you on the guitar there?
That's Wade Davis.
Okay.
Wade Davis. He's actually moving to Nashville.
Nice.
I think he was 16.
Oh, really?
He might be 17 now, I think, but
one of those prodigy guitar players.
yeah,
huh?
he's really good.
Those people make me sick, by the way.
But he's moving to Nashville sometime soon to go to school so that he can play guitar. But
yeah,
it might be the last time you see us.
That's really cool. Any ambition of trying the Nashville scene, or I mean, do you?
If I had the opportunity, I probably wouldn't turn it down.
Right.
However, I feel like my music doesn't really fit in that well with the Nashville style. It's because they're more pop type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really my thing. I can't write that type of music, and I can't sing that type of music.
Right.
So I don't know. But if I did have the opportunity,
I mean, at least you're true to yourself. You know your wheelhouse, and you stay there, and you're great at it. So why would you move in another direction?
It's hard to write songs that aren't sad for me. Most of the songs I write are pretty sad.
Is that a release for you? Is that how you get your sadness
Definitely
kind of out?
Definitely.
Is that how you deal with it?
I wrote way before I sang, so I would write, not necessarily songs, but I would write stuff down, like a journal, just to get it out. Because if I don't clear it out in my head, it's going to be noodling around up there forever, and it's going to piss me off. So I got to get it out and get rid of it and start over. And it's the same way with songwriting now. Is if I got a song, it may be the worst song you've ever heard, but if it's stuck in my head, I have to write it down, or I can't find something else that's halfway decent. Right. So it's the same thing. But yeah, I would say it's definitely a release for me.
Quarantine here has lately. Have you been finding yourself writing more, or just finding other outlets?
I have wrote a decent amount more, I guess, during quarantine. But for some reason, they've been happier songs. I don't know what happened with quarantine, but most of the ones that I wrote during that time were actually more upbeat, happier songs. So, I'm cool with it.
Well, you found a new hobby too during this whole thing as well, and I wanted to bring that up because you gifted me with this really cool ring right here. I don't know if y'all can zoom in on this, but this is actually made out of a $50.
Yeah.
And then it's even got the date on the inside, 1972. This used to be a $50, and it's now a ring.
Yep.
How do you just? I'm gonna start making rings today. How's that come about?
You have no idea how bored I was during quarantine. You know, I was looking around on YouTube and I saw some videos. I was like, I could do that.
Yeah.
So I started doing it, and I don't really wear jewelry at all, but I figure if I'm gonna make them, I'm gonna wear them. So that's what I do now.
That is so cool, man.
Yeah, they're fun to make.
Yeah.
People seem to like them.
Yeah, it's really neat. You know, it's you can tell that it was once a coin.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really cool, man. And I've noticed that a lot of people, you got people that have to create. You have people that are not happy with themselves unless they are making something, whether that's music or painting or even digital art or anything. They have to have that creative outlet in their life, or they just go crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think this is probably one of your outlets, right?
Yeah.
Since all the bars and everything was closed.
Yeah. You got to feel like you're doing something, you know, because everybody has writer's block, and it happens all the time. You know, it's not something you get and it lasts for a couple weeks and that's it, and you don't have to deal with it for another year.
Right.
Writer's block happens once a week, twice a week, 20 times a month. You never know when it's going to hit you. So you got to have something else to kind of fall back on when you cannot deal with finishing this song right now. You're like, I'm tired of thinking about this song. Like, I got to have something else to do. So that's kind of my thing, is to find something else other than music to take your mind off of it.
And then how does that work with the songwriting? Like, after you just kind of forget about it, and then you can come back to it, and it's like, oh yeah, let's.
It definitely helps.
Yeah.
What I usually do is when I get down there, I'll crank up some music, and I try to find music that I've never listened to or never even thought about listening to. So I crank it up, and usually by the time I get done, after I spend 3 or 4 hours out there, is I'll have an idea of something that I kind of want, you know, whether it be a tune or a lyric or something else. So it helps for sure.
What's the next step for Parker Ford, man? You've I mean, you were gigging hard, you know, before the breaks.
Yeah, I think what I wanted to do is put out a live album.
Okay.
And redo all the songs that I've put out as singles so far, which is 4 songs, and redo those as like a live in studio album, and then play the songs that I've just written during quarantine and all that, and stuff that I've kind of pulled out of the pile of songs that I've got hidden in my closet, and make a live studio album. So I think that's what's going to happen next. But we'll see. Do
you have a specific studio that you stick to, or have you bounced and done
Definitely. I do everything at Studio 101. That's in Woodruff, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Right on Highway 101.
I don't even think we mentioned, but you're a South Carolina native. I mean, you're a local guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Brad at Studio 101, especially if you've never recorded music in a studio, like me, I had never recorded a song. I had
to be overwhelming walking in there.
I had no idea how any of that was going to go. Brad is the nicest guy you will ever meet in your entire life, and is the easiest transition, I guess, from going to somebody that plays in their bedroom to putting a song on Spotify.
Yeah.
Because all the musicians there are top notch, and then they are able to kind of, you get to watch them, and they know exactly what they're going to do.
Right.
And if you got some input, throw it in. But
that's really cool to have somebody that can guide you along like that. That's really neat.
It's fun.
All right, we are going to send it back to Miss Amber really quick, and she is going to take it out, and Parker is going to come right back with one more song here tonight on The Square on Air. Miss Amber, take it away.
And that just about wraps up this week's episode of The Square on Air. Thank you for taking the initiative to turn off the news and dedicate a part of your day to music. Hopefully you've enjoyed the songs and stories from Parker Ford. If you would like to donate to Parker Ford, his links are in the comments and on your screen. Thank you in advance for supporting him in this difficult time for gigging musicians. If you are a business or patron of the arts and would like to sponsor or support The Square on Air, please reach out to us at thesquareonair@gmail.com. Please join us again next week as we welcome another country singer and songwriter, good friend and co-writer of Clay Page, Mr. Brad Evans. Now, taking you out with one more song, please give your full attention once again to Parker Ford.
All right, so this is a song that I wrote a couple weeks ago called Still Missing You, and me and Cody actually wrote this together. It's kind of a breakup song, but we wrote it together, so we're good. But it's called Still Missing You. All the shadows in my mind are getting darker every day. I find it hard to pass the time when there's nothing more to say. Wish that I could bend the rules. Lovers' games I was born to lose. If only I could turn back time, skip the games and play the fool. About the only thing she left is old love letters on my desk, reminding me that she's the one, and all the things I should have done. Another night here alone. Fire's burned out and love is gone. Of all the things you took with you, I kept my pride and heartache too. One holding you does all the things I couldn't do. I searched my mind to find the truth. Should I go on still missing you?
Still missing you, Parker Ford. Parker, man, just an incredible voice, incredible songwriter, man. We really appreciate you taking the time to come down on this sweltering summer Sunday.
Thanks again for having me. It's always fun to hang out with you guys.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. Y'all go get his music. The website.
We don't quite have the website up and going yet. I mean, we do, but there's just really not much content on it at this point, so we're still kind of working on it. But as far as social media, you can go out to Ford Official Music. That's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you go look me up on Spotify, iTunes, that's Parker Ford. And we also have Patreon up now that's got a couple new songs on it that aren't out on any social media at this point, and that's Ford Official Music as well.
Still Missing You, is that the next release?
Possibly. It's one of my new favorites, honestly. I love singing it. So.
Nice one. Again, man, thanks so much.
Thanks.
Cannot wait to see where you go from here.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that's all the time we've got for the Square on Air tonight. We will be rebroadcast Tuesdays at 9 p.m. on West Carolina Television Channel 20, and then again on Wednesdays at 12:30, lunch 30, not midnight 30, on West Carolina Television Channel 20. We'll be right back here next Sunday night, 6 p.m. with Brad Evans. All right, I'm Benji Greeson. That's Parker Ford. Everybody love everybody. Stay safe. God bless. Good night.